could be her bottom and Mel could be my top. And she would pinch my nipples and I'd beg her to stop. She'd put me in bondage and have her way with me. I would be so happy, it's my Rev Mel fantasy.
Welcome back. Welcome back to the Rev Mel Show, sponsored by TSRnetwork.com, where real people talk about real sex with real kinky people. We got a really kinky person here. He's been a kinky person since he was 16 years old and prior to that.
Yeah.
Did you ever look at Playboy magazine when you were a kid?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah? Did your dad have them?
No. I basically had some neighbors that were swingers. You know, I'd go ride my bicycle down the alley and you'd see through the fence and they're having sex and they would throw out all their magazines into the alley, you know, for the trash guy. And then I guess I was walking home from school and they were all blowing down the alley. I was just kind of going, whoa, wow. You know? So that's where I kind of seen Playboy. Or at the barber shop. I had a barber shop at the end of the street. Get my hair cut, they'd be looking the other direction. We're like, so it was cool.
Yeah, my dad used to have them in the shop. My dad was an aluminum. He was aluminum siding.
Aluminum siding.
Aluminum siding and glass repairs and those sort of things. So, you know, I'm used to that noise. It was like,
Yeah.
But they had Playboy, lots of Playboys, and I used to go there. And when they weren't looking, I'd be like, run through it, because you know, kind of. I think women are hot.
I think Playboy back then was a pretty good magazine. You look at stuff today, it's kind of like, I don't know. Back then they left a lot to the imagination, I think, and it was kind of cool.
Yeah, now it's all.
Now it's just too. I mean, I don't know. Sooner or later, somebody will figure out a way to make it all hot and hardcore, but I haven't seen anything really yet that gets me going. But
well, he started.
Can hope.
16.
Maybe I'll have to start shooting pictures myself. I don't know, but we'll see.
You think you might do that?
Probably sooner or later.
Yeah. Do you like working with the camera?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I used to make films when I was in high school too. Actually, I worked for a cable company, and I kind of think this is the building that I used to come and edit my footage here, because they used to pick me up in school, and a limo was the greatest thing. Kids would freak out like, "Where'd you get a limo from?" But it was just the people I worked for. They didn't have a way of transporting people around, so they'd call a limo instead of calling it a taxi. And I was doing these after-school movies that you'd see on a cable channel, and none of the kids at school wanted to edit film or use a camera, and I thought, well, this is cool, and I got a paycheck out of it. They didn't, so they just wanted to act. So I took it and ran with it, and this was, I believe this was a building we used to come and edit our film. So.
Well, this building is doing a lot of transformation, a lot to do with some of the suggestions. Willie was here last week, and we were sitting on the couch talking about different things that can be done to this space. And he suggested also that we build the floor coming out, and the look on my face was like more construction.
It's like, oh shit, here we go again.
And then when we talked about making the kitchen and separating the bathroom and all of this thing, and the look on my face was like, and that's why I was at the wood place all day today. That's why my hair looks like this, because I was out buying wood.
I know that feeling. I spend all day in the wood shop myself, trying to find the right piece of wood for the right job. And
it's interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, they have like 50 million metal, I don't know what they are. They're things that they, for walls, to hook up things, to pound things, nails in, to join this thing and to join that thing.
Yeah.
I've never been to a place where they sell just wood and building supplies like that.
Yeah.
Home Depot, it's a little bit different.
Yeah. I usually go to Lowe's myself.
Yeah.
It just seems, it's right next to my shop, so it's...
So, you like, what type of wood do you like? What is your favorite wood?
Like a birch with a plywood veneer on it, because it's really straight and it's really high-end stuff. Most of my furniture is made with that, because you know, like I said, 2x4s, they're either wet, they crack, they snap. They're just not good for building furniture out of. Everything I build's pretty much like 1/2 inch to 5/8 like birch plywood or import plywood that has like a nice veneer. I mean, they're dead straight. I mean, most wood is like a hockey stick, and it's not really well constructed, but I seem to do great with this stuff, and it really works. I mean, it makes a good product and doesn't weigh a ton either, so that's the other thing. Most of those crosses I build, you'd think they're like solid wood. They're not. They're hollow. and I have a trick for how I make them so they're light and they're really strong. I mean, you could.
So they're not that heavy?
No, the crosses weigh maybe like about 30, 40 pounds.
Wow.
Yeah, they're not really that. I mean, most women could move them by themselves. The dungeon in the box, even though that cross is big in there, it's still pretty light. The woman that owns it has back problems, and I made it so she could move it around. So, I mean, I kind of like try to engineer it where it isn't like you're moving a boat anchor around.
Well, what's amazing about that, dungeon in a box is that everything fits in it. I mean, I've seen that up close and personal.
Yeah.
And I've seen it pushed in, I've seen it come out, and I've seen it, being put away. I mean, that thing it's an amazing piece.
Yeah, I mean, that one I actually, when I came up with the idea of it, I talked to the owner of the where it is, and she said she wanted all this stuff, and she didn't know where the hell to put it. And so we went round and round, and then I finally came up with an idea. I tried to explain it to her. She looked at me like I'm goofy. So okay, I went home and I got the cardboard and the scissors out, and I made like a diorama, like a Barbie doll size version of it. And I took it to her and I opened it up and just showed her how everything worked.
But do you do that a lot with, a lot of stuff, like when you're designing something, is that what you normally do? You normally make a small diagram of it for people can see it?
If I have a customer that doesn't quite get what I'm doing and it's going to be something substantial, or it's going to be a lot of money, I'd rather start out with showing them exactly what they're going to get. It's like all the cars I build. I hire artists to give me a good working set of pictures, so I can go down and say, this is what we're going to build, and that's it. Because otherwise, if you don't have a plan, or if they don't know what they want, it just never gets done, or it just gets changed and it doesn't ever look like anything. It just looks like a mess. So.
Maybe that's what happens to me.
So that's what a designer does. A designer gives you a direction to go with, and you stick on it, till it's done. Because it's just, it's form, function, style. You kind of have to have all of it to go together to pull something off. And I'd just rather, be able to show somebody perfectly what they want. And if they don't want it, then we can kind of change it before we spend a lot of money and have to throw something away. So.
I think that's a great idea. I want to ask you some questions. While we were on the break, one of the board people asked you a question. Do you have any of your pieces or any of your cars or furniture in museums?
I have cars off and on in the Peterson Museum. There's a lot of photos, like blown up photos in there of cars I've done. It just depends on what they're displaying, but I've probably had 200 or 300 cars in there off and on over the last few years. So most likely, if you go there, you can probably find a sign with my name on it, on something. The National Auto Museum has stuff I did for Ed Roth, and I've had a few pieces in the Smithsonian as display things. Just basic vanilla furniture kind of stuff, but it's still nice to have stuff in there. So, yeah, a lot of museums here and there.
I've seen some of your you did a couch at the person that has the dungeon in a box, and that couch was amazing.
Oh yeah, the one that flips out to a bed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did like I think it's like a 1940s style couch. You lift it up and it lays down. They had a lot of stuff like that back then, but I styled it. It was black ostrich, red stingray, and I had these chrome naked chicks on the end of the armrest. But the armrests were like the total Art Deco kind of style armrest and stuff. It's really something. I gotta post some pictures of on FetLife of that.
That's fabulous. So there's people that are probably in the chat room that will be watching this at another time, wondering, how can I do this?
Go to trade school.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where I started, and just save my money. Actually, when I was in trade school, the funny thing is I made so much money in trade school because kids would come in, take their parents' cars apart, and lose all the pieces and not know how to even sew anything. So you'd have these parents come in frantic. I'd be over in the corner just working my ass off. So the only way they get the car back when pieces come see me. So I was making money in high school. I was making more money back then, I think, than I am now. But it was great. I graduated, bought a new truck, bought a sewing machine, just went
Do you
for it.
have to have an industrial sewing machine?
Oh yes, you can't.
Yeah.
You can't use any. You can't use any of that stuff you buy in Target or something. You gotta really spend some money for quality stuff. I mean, the sewing machine I got will sew through your fingers.
Wow.
Aluminum, wood, whatever. I mean, that's how powerful it is. It's a horse and a half.
Wow.
Yeah. My wife's actually learning how to sew right now, and she's learning on the garment type ones. So I've tried teaching her on mine. She just says it's too much for her. So, but.
So besides making furniture and cars, you said you made some toys.
Oh yeah, I make toys. I make clothing too.
You do?
I make corsets off and on. Me and an ex-girlfriend had a clothing business making lingerie. We used to do the magic show, so I know how to do pattern making. Like when I went to trade school, I actually learned pattern making and all that stuff. So I have pretty much a degree in all this stuff somehow. All the years and everything I've done. I mean, I even know how to do neon work. I don't know. I've had so many odd jobs. Learned how many things. I'm the kind of guy that doesn't like to be held hostage by anything. So if I design something, I want to do it, and I gotta wait for something. It's like, oh, screw it, give me a book, I'll go find it, and I'll start doing it. So
I remember the first time I met you. I don't know if you remember it. It's when a friend of ours was at our club, the Lear Side, and was going to do a birthday thing for her submissive at the moment, where it was with pies and stuff like that, and everybody was dressed up in clowns.
Oh yeah.
And we all went early to decorate the little area that we were going to do. And I walk in, and I'm bossing people around. He looks at me like, what the heck? And he just like ignored me. And he goes, you know what? And our friend said, you know what? He knows what he's doing. And I said, okay, I'll listen to him. And he just had this thing whipped up like.
I get going. I just like, leave me alone. I'll do it. That's usually the way it is. Once I got a plan, it's like, okay, just got to do it and get it done.
So you like clowns?
Yeah, they're funny. That's like I said, chicks with clown makeup, squeaky tits. So there you go. Rubber chickens. There you go.
Maybe I should do a scene with a clown, because you were dressed up as a clown.
Yeah.
And I think that your wife was there dressed up as a clown.
Yeah, she came. I was pretty knocked out by that.
Yeah.
Fortunately, I was too tired by the time I got home to do anything about it. But it was good.
Maybe we should do a show. Ever fuck a clown?
Yeah, that's a good subject. Yeah.
Clown fucking.
Yeah.
Well, we have Mr. Sprinkles. You know who Mr. Sprinkles is? Mr. Sprinkles is a scary clown, which, he's been threatening to come on to the show.
That's my good buddy, yeah.
Yeah, Mr. Sprinkles.
Yeah.
He says he's going to show up one of these days without letting me know.
I believe he will. He's that kind of guy. Yeah, and rubber chickens will roll, I suppose. Yes, that's.
So in BDSM, what is your favorite thing you like to do besides clowns?
Spanking and caning, pretty much. For some reason, I get a kick out of that. Yeah. I like everything. I like rope bondage. The whole encasement thing. I have like a million fetishes, so I just kind of go with it. Just pack my bag, go out and play, and just whatever happens.
So if you were to have, I don't know if your wife is a submissive. I don't know.
Yeah, she is. She's my collared submissive.
Okay. If you were, going to go out for an evening, this is an inside thing. You guys aren't there. It's just him and I talking.
Yeah.
And you were going to pick out clothes for her to wear. You're going to go to a club. What would you pick out for her?
Probably the clown outfit.
The clown?
Yeah, that would just be. It's kind of fun and shocking. It's great on all levels. It's just not only I'm having fun, I'm just disturbing the fuck out of everybody else. It's just.
We have a friend named Boo Boo Bunny who is terrified of clowns. Literally terrified.
Oh, the people were, I think at the lair, people were getting sick and going in the bathroom and throwing it. Was.
I got that stuff, all the pie stuff all over me. It was all over my clothes. It was such a fun time. And then she had this